Hi, it's Vex, and today we do another deck tech in the streets of New Capenna for Anhelo, the Painter. I hope I said it right. If I didn't, please correct me. Anhelo, the Painter is a Grixis, or Maestro's, I believe, commander. It's his blue, black, red, legendary creature, vampire assassin. I love that. Vampire assassin. Death touch, that's the assassin part, right? The first instant or sorcery spell you cast this turn has Casualty 2. And reminder text, as you cast that spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power 2 or greater. When you do, copy the spell and you may choose new targets for the copy. So this basically, once you have 2 power or greater creatures, so you can sacrifice to Casualty, and instants and sorceries, so you can copy them. Basically, we want a lot of spells, a lot of creatures, and I like this commander because it makes you want creatures, unlike our favorite Spellslinger commander, Nib Mizzet Perun, which is just so absolutely insanely good. This, this is a great design because it still makes it really good, but you gotta do some work to get it, which I really like. Okay, before we start, don't forget to have all your fun little tokens because this deck does want to generate a bunch of tokens to be sacrificed to Anhelo's ability. It also, I've biased the deck towards more instants because it says first instant or sorcery you cast, so it doesn't say on which turn, so you can cast on your opponent's turn, copy it. So I did add a lot extra instants, or I guess not extra, I biased towards instants. If you want to check out the deck list, I have it below in the description. Did I mention don't forget to have your tokens? Because that's the first area we're going into. So in Anhelo, once you have tokens, at least 2 power or greater to sack. So these are the tokens, generators, not tokens, these are real cards obviously. Token generators, you have the new Cryptic Pursuit, so these are enchantments, these are creatures, generate more creatures. But let's check this out. We have 2 blue and a red, where we cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand and manifest the top card of your library. That's right, and it becomes a 2/2 creature face down. So that's pretty cool. And it always triggers. It's not like the first time. That's the new text they're adding to everything. First time, triggers once, blah, blah, blah. Triggers all the time. Whenever a face down creature you control dies, exile it. If it's an instant or sorcery card, you may cast that card until the end of your next turn. The cool part is you can sack the 2/2 creature to Anhelo's ability to copy. Then you can also exile it because it did die because you sacked it, and cast it again until your next turn. So this is really cool. It gives you double value of your creature if it's an instant or sorcery. Metallurgic Summonings, Shark Typhoon, they essentially say cast a spell, create X creature. This is a shark, flying shark, that equals to the spell's mana value. So usually you have above 1 mana value card, so you get 2 power or greater with these. And you have Talran. Anytime you cast an instant sorcery, make it 2/2. So this makes a manifest 2/2. This manifest 2/2 is from the top of your library. Makes it regular 2/2. Pop a Stitcher. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery, make a 2/2 black zombie with Decayed. So these flying drakes are a little better because they don't have Decayed. But the important part is the 2 power. Let's switch these two. Jadar, right here. It's a new card. At the beginning of your end step, if you control no creatures with Decayed, create a little Decayed creature. Again, to be sacked to Anhelo. Sedgemoor Witch is an exception. I know it does make 1/1 pest. It says Magecraft, whenever you cast or copy an instant sorcery, could you create a 1/1 pest when it dies, gain 1 life. The reason we have Sedgemoor Witch is because you can go really wide with Sedgemoor Witch because it has the Magecraft ability. Magecraft is important because if you cast and copy a spell, you would trigger this twice. I know you can't sack both the creatures to do Anhelo's ability, but we do want little tiny pest creatures because they're fun. I've seen some people list with Professor Onyx in there because she has Magecraft, but I don't really like Planeswalkers because they're hard to protect. And definitely in here we make a lot of tokens, but we are kind of creature light because we do need a bunch of instant sorceries to trigger Anhelo. So that's why this is in here. Here we have some kind of the graveyard recursion plus fun creatures. The fun creature is Dualcaster Mage. It is indeed a 2/2 2-powered creature that can copy spells and also be sacked to copy spells. So what you could do is, cast a spell like Maestro's, that's not an instant sorcery. Cast this Sublime Epiphany, right? Let's clear everything out. Sublime Epiphany on the stack, trigger Anhelo on the stack, cast Dualcaster Mage, copying Sublime Epiphany with this trigger on the stack, sacrifice Dualcaster Mage, so you have 3 copies of Sublime Epiphany. So that's how you do this Dualcaster Mage to be a Tricaster Mage with Anhelo on the battlefield. We also have another mage called Snapcaster Mage. Gives a target card in the graveyard flashback, so after you cast those spells. You get flashback. And hell, it doesn't say where you have to cast the instant or sorcery spell. It says the first one you cast each turn, even from the graveyard. So you could Snapcaster, target something, cast it, and then sacrifice Snapcaster for even more value. Leer, Disciple of the Drown. This one says spells can't be countered, even your spells, but it gives everything flashback, so kind of like Snapcaster Mage on crack. You can hypothetically sack Leer, but I don't recommend it. You can actually sack any of these creatures I previously mentioned to Anhelo's ability, which is a cool part. It's like, just in case you need some sack fire, you might just sack them like last resort, or if you're performing a big spell like Tournament of Hailfire, sacking them is not that bad. So graveyard recursion here. Kess, right here, during each of your turns, you may cast an instant sorcery card from your graveyard. It doesn't technically gain flashback, but if we put it into your graveyard this way, exile instead. Kess can also be sacked in Anhelo. So Kess is like a Leer, but only one time per your turn. So timing restrictions there. We have Maestro's Ascendancy. Let's read this brand new card, which I actually like. Once during each of your turns, you may cast an instant sorcery spell from graveyard by sacrificing a creature, in addition to paying its other costs. If the spell cast this way, we put in the graveyard, exile it. So essentially, anytime you cast from your graveyard, you just exile it. This requires you to sack a creature, recast a spell, and Anhelo will require you to sack another creature to copy it. Bloodghast is a 2-power creature that does recur back from the graveyard, so I recommend sacking Bloodghast all the time. Remember to play your land after you sack Bloodghast, not before. Here are some big spells that I like to copy with Anhelo. Mentioning Tournament of Hailfire, it is in the deck. Copying is pretty ridiculous, so definitely do that. Let's start from the top. Initial's Confluence from the new Capenna Commander, not Commander 2022, because they don't do that anymore. Because there's always a Commander product out all the time. Anyways, 3 in a Grixis, 3 in a Maestro, 3 blue, black, red. Sorcery, you choose 3, which I love. You may choose the same mode more than once. Return target monocolored instant sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand, so you get 3 of those back. This is a sorcery, unfortunately. I wish this was an instant, but target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Goad each creature target player controls. Don't choose the same player 3 times. You choose each of the other players. So you can goad every creature and make them attack each other. That is the main mode that I choose all the time. This deck is a fun mode because you don't get attacked and they have to figure out how to keep their creatures alive. So Maestros Confluence is super cool and definitely super cool to copy. Now, be careful when copying. Copying lets you choose new targets. It does not let you choose new modes. So if you do goad each creature target players control and choose each 3 players, if you copy it, you would have to do the goad thing again. That doesn't do anything. So if I were you and I wanted to goad 3 players, I would goad 2 players here and do something else, and then copy it and goad the other 1 player twice. But essentially, that's how you goad 3 players with the copying mode, and then choose a different mode. We have Sublime Epiphany, same deal, bunch of modes. Here, I love these modes because you can, counter target spell, target activated ability, which, sometimes you don't double countering somebody's spells, like whatever, but you return things to the owner's hand, create a token, draw a card. So those are really cool items there. Blatant Thievery. Now, you definitely want to copy this. Costs 7 mana to, gain control of target permanent that player controls. You do get to change targets when you copy, so you gain 2 permanents, 2 of their best permanents. So 6 of the player's best permanents by copying Blatant Thievery. Cruel Ultimatum because it's in the Grixis colors, and I just love playing this card. Is hard to cast because it's blue, blue, black, 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 red, red. Is a sorcery. Target opponent sacrifices a creature, discards 3 cards, then loses 5 life. You return a creature card from your graveyard, which hopefully you sack to Anhelo. Draw 3 cards, gain 5 life, so you can choose a different target player. So you can have Cruel Ultimatum, 2 players. This is the only instant here so far, because big spells are usually sorceries, because they're very mean to cast them at instant speed. Army of the Damned. This is a super cool card. I don't play this ever, unless it's this deck. And somebody's done this to me. I've never lived the dream of sacking a creature making 26 zombies, but 5 black, 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 8 mana value, make 13 2/2 zombies, which is a perfect amount that you only sacked it on Anhelo. Then you flash back for 10 mana. So back to the story. Somebody had made 26 zombies with Anhelo, and it sucked for me because they just made an army in a can. Then next turn, they can just sack one of those zombies and make another 26. So that's pretty crazy. Expansion Explosion. The cheap mode lets you copy. The expensive mode lets you do damage and draw cards. You also can deck somebody if they've drawn too many cards. This is target player draws X cards. Then back to Torment of Hailfire. Such a great card. Such a great finisher. Some people are sick of it, but you know what? The game's got to end, and this is a great way to end the game. And why not have 2 Torments of Hailfire to end the game? We have card draw. We actually have 2 sections of card draw, which is our biggest section so far. And a lot of Spellslinger decks, and a lot of people who make Spellslinger decks, I think don't do it right. The idea is you have lots of card draw, so you keep continually drawing through your deck, gaining value from whatever Spellslinger commander via Anhelo or Niv Mizzet. You just draw tons of cards, get through your deck. You only need a couple finishers, and then finish the game off. That's essentially how Spellslinger decks work. I mean, some people might want to have just big spells constantly, so if you live in a slower meta, you could do just those big Torment Hailfires over and over again. But let's start with our card draw section here. We have new Maestro's Charm. I love these new Maestro's cards. Grixis. I can't say it right. Blue, black, red. Here, I consider this card draw because the first mode is look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put one of those cards in your hand, the rest in your graveyard. And copying card draw is amazing because you get to double those triggers. Then you can each opponent loses 3 life, you gain 3 life. So that's a 12 life point swing. Or deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker. I wish it said player, but it only deals 3 damage to each player. Well, 9 damage total across all players. So that's pretty good. I love these flexible things. Each mode will never cost 3 mana value, but the modes combined, 3 mana value, very good. Startled, this is a really cool card. 1 in a blue. The cool part about it is it's spell that generates a creature that is an instant that can blow people out in combat by saying target creature gets -2, -0 until end of turn. Create a 2/2 decayed zombie and draw a card. So it's a cantrip. Then we have Morbid Opportunists right here. When one or more other creatures die by our commander's ability, draw a card. It triggers once each turn, but around the turn cycle you can trigger it 4 times. So this is really cool. There, Archmage Emeritus. Oh, before we go here, you can't sack Morbid Opportunists because it's a 1/3. But who cares? You draw tons of cards. Archmage Emeritus. This is one of the most important cards of the deck here. 2 blue. Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant source spell, draw a card. So if you play a spell, draw a card. You copy it with Anhelo, draw a card. Very, very excellent way to just fuel your instants and sorceries or your hand. Village Rites. I love these. Village Rites, big score and unexpected windfall. All instants, of course. They have a cost to casting them. Additional cost to cast a spell, sack a creature. Draw 2 cards. So this, once you sack a creature, if you sack another creature, you draw 2 cards, but you don't have to pay the additional cost twice. So that's really cool. Big score, additional cost, discard a card, but if you copy it, you do not have to discard a card again. These 2 do the same thing, and then they make 2 treasures. So if you copy it, you essentially refund yourself for the entire big score or unexpected windfall mana. More card draw. Frantic Search. Draw 2 cards, discard 2 cards, untap 3 lands. The cool part about it is that you make mana with Frantic Search if you copy it. Dig Through Time. It's kind of card draw. You essentially would draw 2 cards, but it's an instant, which is really important. I do not have Treasure Cruise because that's a sorcery. But Dig Through Time's in the deck. Fact or Fiction. Draw more cards. Mystic Confluence. Again, the modal ones were when you copy, you keep the same modes. Has a counter mode, bounce mode, or draw a card mode. Usually, if you're desperate, you could counter and copy it and really counter it. They might not have anything to pay for 3 times 6, 18 mana, Mystic Confluence counter. So we have Jessica's Will, which is insane to copy. Live the Dream. It kind of draws 3 cards, makes tons of mana, up to 7, maybe even more mana if somebody has like a heuristic study on their table, been drawing cards. And doubling that, 6 cards, maybe 18 mana, who knows? It's insane. Jessica's Will does everything. Cards that generate mana and draw cards, A+. Seagate Restoration is a modal double face card. It's mainly there for the island mode, but it lets you draw cards and copy it in a pinch. And the cool part, it stacks really well. Here, let's actually read this card. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. So let's say you have 2 cards, and then you copy it, you cast this, and then you draw 3 cards, right? So you have 5 cards total. Then the copy will see that you have 5 cards and do +1, so you draw 6 cards from that. So it just gets better and better the more times you copy this Secret Restoration. We have some removal here. Vandal Blast and Cyclonic Rift both have the overload cost. When you copy it for overload, it doesn't do anything. So the cool part is that you still use it for the cheap mana mode, like the 1 mana Vandal Blast. You can copy it to destroy 2 artifacts. Same for Cyclonic Rift. You can do double Baby Rift. We have Feed the Swarm here, and yeah, it's in here because Grixis has a hard way of killing enchantments. You have Chaos or Feed the Swarm, or maybe you could bounce it with Cyclonic Rift, but that's about it. Reality Shift. The cool part about Reality Shift is it does exile target creature, manifest top, and its controller manifests the top card of their library. If you want, you could also exile a decayed token or whatever, you know. And the secret reason why I have this is it uses the same token as Cryptic Pursuit and actually synergizes with it. So that's one of the reasons. Chaos Warp. Chaos Warp's Chaos Warp. You can get rid of enchantments. The only reason it's there because I'm playing Grixis, and sometimes times get desperate, and desperate people do desperate things like Chaos Warp. Deadly Rollick. This is cool because it's a instant. It could be a free spell, or you could pay 4. But you know, if it is a free spell, it means you have a commander on the board. It means you can copy it. Toxic Deluge, Blasphemous Act. This might be silly to copy. However, it could get countered. So Blasphemous Act, sacking a creature, doesn't hurt that much because you're going to kill everything anyways. So doubling this is good. Toxic Deluge, you know, it's always good to have a backup Toxic Deluge. And since your stuff's dying anyways, it doesn't hurt to sack things. Some utility cards, Graveyard Hate right on top here. Dauthi Voidwalker, a good Graveyard Hate piece that can be sacked to Anhelo, or you could sack it to itself to cast an instant sorcery spell to sack something else to Anhelo. So everything works really great for Dauthi Voidwalker. Soul Guide Lantern, love this card, always in every deck. Good Graveyard Hate, cheap Graveyard Hate. I wish they'd make something a little bit better at 1 mana, but you know, this is the default Graveyard Hate of choice. Mine of choice, of course. It could be used Unlicensed Unlicensed or whatever, as a good graveyard piece of hate, artifact hate. Not artifact hate, artifact piece of graveyard hate, that's what I meant. Rakdos Charm. Kill all graveyards, destroy target artifact. Each creature deals 1 damage to its controller. Copying the Rakdos Charm on the 1 damage mode is pretty funny. Some people play tokens decks, goes really wide, have 20 tokens, you can kill them, hit 40 damage with double Rakdos Charm. Slip out the back. I really love this card from New Capenna. Right here, the reason I love this card is it puts a +1/+1 counter on a target creature, right? So you could technically put it on Anhelo itself and get it big enough to do the Casualty and protect it because it phases out. Or you could just get rid of a couple creatures, phase them out. If they're somebody's about to execute a combo with a creature, you could just offensively phase them out. Slip out the back is insane. Malakir Rebirth, mold double face card, can save your creature. Lightning Greaves, protection for a little friend. Right here, can wear some boots or paint on some boots. Here we have some ramp spells. We have some creature ramp, which is really good. Of course, 2 power or greater. We have a new card, Carmella, Glamour Thief. I know, steals all the glamour. 1 in blue, black, red. Haste, which is really cool to see that. Pay 1, tap, add the Grixis color. Spend this mana only to cast instants or sorceries. So you can pay 4, pay 1. So pay 5, you get 3 back. And a 2/4 creature, of course. Then you can use it to cast spells. Whenever it dies, you return up to 1 target instant sorcery card from graveyard to your hand, which is super good. And the die trigger is very easy to trigger. Of course, our commander does that very easily. Stormkiln Artist. This is insane ramp in this deck because it's 3 in a red. It gets +1/+0 for each artifact you control, and I always forget that part. I always forget that part, but it does grow bigger. But it's already of 2 power, so that's all that really matters. When you cast or copy a spell, create a treasure token. Instant sorcery spell, of course. So anytime you cast and copy, you get 2 treasure tokens. So you could just chain off, go crazy with Stormkiln Artist. Even has the word storm in it, just for funsies. Solemn Simulacrum, piece of ramp, and when it dies, draws you a card, and it has 2 power. This card is just perfect for this deck. It's just amazing. We have a traditional ramp. I wish Anhelo is a 3 mana commander. However, you don't want to cast it on turn 3. You want to wait to turn 5, turn 6, where you can just play it, have a creature, cast it, Casualty, draw cards, do things. We have a bunch of mana rocks to try to get you out faster, ahead of schedule. We have Soul Ring, Wayfarer's Bauble, the Signet, Arcane Signet. We have the 2 Dimir and Izzet Signets. We have the 3 Talismans, Thought Vessel, Mind Stone. We are drawing a bunch of cards. Thought Vessel is super fun in this deck. Mind Stone helps you draw cards. Yes, I know. Time for the boring cards. Our land, you have Command Tower, your 3-color lands, Path of Ancestry, Exotic Orchard, Xander's Lounge, the new Maestro's Triome. So that's good. We have Moldo face cards here from Zendikar Rising. Shock lands, I call it the slow lands, the Innistrad lands, I don't know, whatever it is. The Battle Bond lands, fetch lands. So remember, your commander does cost 1 of each mana, and then your deck is color intensive, so you need good fixing. The rest of the lands, we have the channel lands up here. Pachuca Bog, Graveyard Hate, it's good, always good. Or more Castle Vantress to scry with to get those instants and sorceries in our hands. We have our copy lands, Thespian Stage, Vesuva, Royal Quarry Tower, because we're drawing lots of cards, of course. And Ancient Tomb to help us ramp out. And we have our basics right here from New Capenna, full art. Basics look gorgeous. I love this mountain right here. It's my favorite art of the series. All right, that is the deck. And if you enjoyed this deck tech so far, give it a thumbs up, smash subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be alerted for new videos. But we are going to do some gold fishing. And if you want to go fish along and check out the deck, it is in the description below, along with my TCG Player, Channel Fireball affiliate links, and all the other socials and whatever that you want to click on. I think I do have the super thanks activated, so if you want to thank me for this, which you don't have to at all, you just watch the video, that's thanks enough, you can. All right, let me shuffle this mighty 100-card deck, 99-card deck, of course, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back with Anhelo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love just checking out the opening hand, see what's going on. All right. Oh, did I say 8? Oh my God. Opening hand's only 7 cards. You eventually get your 8th card no matter what, but 7 cards. Got some lands, Talisman right there. 2 4-drops, Snapcaster Mages, creatures to sack. Except for this creature is very important. You don't want to sack this creature. Guard Commander, okay. Let's see what we want to do. I guess we'll just look at that 8th card that we accidentally drew. Village Rites. Path of Ancestry. Chill there first. Nothing to play on turn 1. Usually with this deck there's no Brainstorm because you don't want to copy low impact spells. You want to copy high impact spells. Turn 2. There we go. I mean, I guess there's a turn 1 play as Soul Ring, but we'll play our Command Tower. Right there we go. All our color fixing right there. Super, super duper. Talisman of Dominance. More color fixing. I love it. Turn 3. I love these first turns. Just go so fast. Mind Stone. Oh, okay, even more mana rocks. This Haunted Ridge comes to play untapped. There. We'll probably play this as land. Let's just save it just in case. All right, we have 4 mana. What we can do is get our Archmage Emeritus. We can't get Anhelo out with Mind Stone because this Bruce is colorless and that's 1 of each color. So I think we'll save. Can't play Village Rites because I have nothing to sack. Snapcasters does nothing. So we'll just play our Mage Emeritus to get ready for our shenanigans soon. Then we'll pass the turn. Here, turn 3, I'm going backwards in time. Turn 4. There, draw a card. Okay, so this is where the fun begins. Leer. Okay, so we are going to play this as a land because we need mana. We could play Unexpected Windfall into Mind Stone into Unexpected Windfall. Or we're going to play our commander. Let's just play our commander. Let's do that. Let's play our commander here. Set up for next turn. And then we can play Mind Stone. Set up. Say pass. Try not to look so dangerous. They probably kill one of our dudes. Probably the Archmage. But we're greedy. We want max value here. Turn 5. Tower in. That's fine. Here. What can we do? Oh, Tower in makes a dude right there. So let's play Unexpected Windfall and not sacrifice anything here because it does give us 2 mana back. So it's essentially costs 2. Or we could sack something. Well, we don't have any creatures to sack. We could sack the Archmage, which kind of sucks. Let's do that here. Let's not sack Archmage. Let's see what we get, because we can only sack it to Village Rites if necessary. Alright, so we'll use a Mind Stone, tap this, tap the Command Tower, tap Otawara. I forgot to Path of Ancestry on Anhelo when I casted it, but oh well. We missed a trigger. Unexpected Windfall. What we're going to do is we're going to discard Village Rites so we can Snapcaster it back eventually. We'll discard this. We'll play Unexpected Windfall. We'll trigger Archmage. Emeritus will just... I forgot Anhelo is the first spell. So do we want a Casualty? Alright, let that trigger on the stack. This trigger, we'll stack this trigger first. We'll draw a card first. Then we'll think about doing the Casualty after we draw this card. Maestro's Charm. You know what? We won't do the Casualty. We'll accept that. We'll put that here. Make it 2 treasures. We'll draw 2 cards as well. 2 treasures. Thespian Stage. Okay. Did we play our land? No, we did not play our land. Sweet. So now I have 5 mana left. Let's see what we can do. We can always Tower in. We can't do Leer because we can't do Leer in Village Rites. That's what I mean. So we'll probably save it for next turn. So I think what we want to do is, or we can save Maestro's Charm, but I think we'll do a Tower in. There, we'll just sacrifice a treasure. Do a Tower in. Okay, now we're all set up. Then we'll say pass. Turn 6 where all magic happens, right? This deck is a little slow. I forgot to say the deck tech, but it is a little slow. Every time I play against it, it takes forever to set up because you know you need Anhelo, a creature, and a spell. You need 3 things, which I like about these decks. I like Commander when it slows down a little bit. It's so much more fun. Alright, so we'll play Sukin's in. Okay. So we'll do this. Let's actually read this and see how this actually works, because I might have said something wrong in the deck tech. First instant sorcery spell you cast each turn has Casualty 2. That means it's as you cast that spell. So I was wrong with the Snapcaster trick, because as you cast a spell, then you have to sacrifice a creature. You can't get Taurin's ability on the stack, so that's not as good as I thought it would be. But let's do it. Let's cast a spell and gain some value here. Let us Snapcaster here. That is not our first instant sorcery, so we're going to do the Village Rites. Oh, that makes us sacrifice a creature too. This is quite difficult, huh? So you know what? We'll Snapcaster on somebody else's turn. We'll just do Maestro's Charm here. Look, and then we'll just look at the top 5 cards of your library. Put one of the cards in your hand. Rest in the graveyard to fill up our Snapcaster. Oops, drop the land. Sorry, I was wrong about the ruling. Oh, I feel bad. Oh well. Hopefully, I'll write a little thing on the little when I edit the thing. All right, let's play Maestro's Charm here. Now look at the top 5 cards. Put one of those in your hand. Rest in the graveyard. They're all lands, so we'll take we'll take this land. Kind of sucks too. We did play our land this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we'll do that. We'll make a Tower in. I'll draw a card there. So we'll make a little Tower in Drake. So now I have a Drake on somebody else's turn to sack. We'll draw a card for Archmage Emeritus. Cyclonic Rift, sweet. Alright, now we're ready to pass the turn. During our opponent's upkeep, we can do all the shenanigans if we want to. Right there. We'll just do a here. Actually, you can't cast Snapcaster Mage that way. Color is important, right? So we'll Snapcaster Mage. We'll actually target the Village Rites. Now Snapcaster Mage is on the battlefield. Then we'll cast the Village Rites. Additional cost to cast it, we'll sacrifice Snapcaster Mage. We'll also sacrifice the Drake for Casualty 2. So we will copy this. And then this comes back with Tower in. You draw 2 cards with the copy and the cast. Right there. And then here you draw 4 cards. Alright, so that's when Anhelo just goes bonkers. So now we have a full hand. Then we have a dude. Then we could say pass. Or let the person finish their turn because we're still waiting on the turn cycle. Then what we could do is, you know, we'll just say this and a treasure to cast our Rakdos Charm on another person's turn. We could destroy target artifact twice because we're going to do a Casualty here. Sack this, but this comes back because Tauren, Archmage Emeritus, draws 2 cards. Right there, so you see how this engine is now working on all cylinders. Put that, and then we'll go back to our 7th turn. See how this works. So yeah, so idea is you gotta get your creature generated first, but once you get that creature generated, things just happen, snowball. All right, we'll just draw a regular card. Reliquary Tower, we probably want to use. Oh, we do have a lot of colorless. Right, this and this are colorless. Let's put it over here. Let's see what we got. Reliquary Tower, let's do that. And then we drew our fun card called Torment of Hellfire. We have Cyclonic Rift. Copying that doesn't really matter. Let's see what we can do. We could torment essentially for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Copy at 14. I think that is a good number. So we'll just cast Torment for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Torment for 7. We'll sack our Drake, we'll make a new Drake, and then we'll draw 2 cards. And then that's Torment for 14. That should get us close to winning the game, right? And then we have all these fun cards left over. So anyways, that's how Anhelo plays. The idea is hopefully get your finisher. Once your engine starts going, you are going. That's why your opponents are very, very priced into killing Anhelo. But you still have your engine pieces like Archmage or Tauren to help you, get through your deck, make little creatures. Eventually recast Anhelo, cast some fun spells, like Cyclonic Rift is always fun to cast, and then win. Anyways, if you enjoyed this deck, give the video a thumbs up, smash subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be alerted for new videos in the future. And as always, have a wonderful day.